Alrighty, hi everyone. My name is Emma Alani, and my research topic is going to be what is the lasting impact advertisements have on women's body image and their identity? So, for my intro, portrayals of women today in the media showcase a selling tool where women are connotated as provocative objects here for the expense of men. The average woman sees 400 to 600 advertisements per day, and by the time she is 17 years old, she has received over 250,000 commercial messages through the media. Advertisements plastered on social media, television, billboards all depict the ideal woman, but to whose standards? While this marketing strategy may be beneficial to major companies and advertisers, it creates a changing attitude, leading to an increase in body distortion, causing a disturbing image in today's society. While we grapple with society's expectations, it leads us to wonder, what is the lasting impact advertisements have on a woman's body image and their identity? So here I just have a few starting images of typically what we see when dealing with advertising towards women. We have the infamous Tom Ford for Men of a perfume bottle placed in between a woman's breasts, a pear shape implying that no woman should look like that. And when women were asked, shed your weight problem here, it was entirely advertising itself with fashion magazines. Now, where does this stem from? So there is a well-known thing in the advertising image industry of a premature sexualization of children. So this is typically known as corporate pedophilia, which involves children themselves being presented in images or directed to act in advertisements in ways modeled on adult sexual behavior. So with this, many countries have now established that girls as young as 6 to 7 years of age desire a chin or ideal body, are aware of dieting to lose weight, and are beginning to engage in disordered eating behaviors. Now, I have some examples of this here. Vogue and Prada are really guilty of partaking in these kind of events. So obviously we have children here that look very much like adults, but they're very young. I was reading online that this was very popular among advertisers because since a lot of advertising companies would get backlash about having really skinny women because they weren't representing women correctly, they would use children instead because children have the really small, sickly, underdeveloped bodies because, you know, they're not adults yet. So advertisers would prefer to showcase women in this light, meaning that really they're trying to have women have a body of a child, really. And this is just some really disturbing images that they have in advertising. Here's some more as well with the makeup. Really just honestly, I don't really know how you can tell that's a kid. That looks very much like over the age of 18. So moving on, we have false advertisements and beauty aesthetics. You almost never see a photograph of a woman considered beautiful that hasn't been photoshopped. Now that is by Jean Kilbourne, who has done a fabulous documentary called Killing Us Softly, which kind of dives into how media portrays women in advertisements and how really all the ads that we see, there's this ideal woman aesthetic, but really that ideal woman doesn't exist because everything that we see has been edited, retouched. It's almost never really the same person. So now I'd like to show this quick little video here. If it would load, perfect, there we go. And that is basically what we would see in our advertisements. Sorry, let me pull this back up. Great, okay, sorry. So that's basically what we see in advertisements. And so it's severely edited. We are not seeing these real women in these images. A lot of research has shown that advertisements create harmful coping mechanisms such as eating disorders like bulimia and anorexia. You know, with these ads here, you can never be too thin and taste as good as skinny feels. Now, obviously, if like any young girl or even an adult saw this, it's portraying that, you know, women have to go to extreme measures to be thin. You know, thin is the ultimate goal. You know, there is no average. It's just taste as good as skinny feels. The only way to feel good is by being skinny. So stuff like this, you know, they treat food as an idea of temptation rather than a means for survival, which is really harmful with girls dealing with eating disorders. Moving on, we have some advertisements here where, quite frankly, advertisements are really dealing with women are geared towards pleasing men. You know, we have these slogans like, it'll blow your mind away. And of course, the woman's mouth is open. And then we have a phallic image of a sandwich going in really emphasizing a blowjob. Then we have this very rapey ad on our right-hand side. Unlike some people, Belvedere always goes down smoothly. And this is a vodka ad, which we all know that there is a lot of controversial and reoccurring things where if women are drunk, they are more likely to be raped. And unfortunately, they blame alcohol for that. And so there's many, many ads out there that really cater towards men and really put women in a very sexualized, violent, submissive type of way. But then we have some light to here. So we have solutions to combat the media. Now, Dove made a Real Beauty campaign where they started to showcase all body sizes and types and ethnicities. This was really a first step into the right direction here. More frequently, brands that I love, such as Aerie, which typically sell like pajama, athletic wear, and intimates. They're a brand of American Eagle, but they fully committed to showing ads that have no Photoshop in them, showing all types of bodies. There's several images on their website when you look to shop that show stretch marks. They're not afraid to show any type of skin discoloration, pigmentation, and they show even disabled bodies or abled bodies. There's really no stopping them. And then we have advertisements that try to combat the harmful coping mechanisms with the National Eating Disorder Association. So they have certain ads that showcase you will be gone before it is, and then information regarding help on how to combat eating disorders. And we have this one on the right-hand side. The monster isn't under the bed, it's in the fridge. And then we have a little infograph right here that says people with eating disorders often distort the size of their food so they'll eat less. They distort the size of their body so thin looks fat, which yields a fat that isn't distorted at all. Without treatment, many won't survive. But to read about those who have, go to this website right here. I think it's very impactful. These ads have been shown all over billboards, online, bus stations. It's really helping get out the message to women that, you know, there is help here if you feel attacked by these advertisements and feel like you have to achieve this ideal woman body. And then the conclusion. The beauty aesthetics of society create a dangerous mindset of the competition amongst women for a prize body that does not exist. As the media promotes one ideal woman body, self-comparison creeps into young girls' minds, distorting their inner self-worth before they even begin to develop. Women constantly evolve their self-image to the ever-changing idea of perfection advertising in the media mass produces. Advertising will never end, but as a society, we can only hope that we can reshape the core values being expressed in the media and promote equality among all types of women. And that is basically my research project. It's pretty disturbing to see these types of advertisements that really put women in such a poor light and really just over-sexualize women and really make them believe that they're really only good for their looks and how well they can behave sexually. And it's really quite disturbing, but it's very empowering to see, you know, messages like Dove and Aerie to really combat these images, especially in social media that we see today, people that are really trying to reverse the stigma of the ideal woman body. So thank you so much for watching, and that was my presentation. Thank you.